Okay, welcome to our last book in the first round, the Michigan Counting book. I mentioned yesterday, this is a book written by Kathy Jo Warsian, illustrated by Michael Glenn, Monroe. Just like yesterday's book, again, the poems in yesterday's book were also written by Kathy Jo Warsian, same illustrator. Yesterday it was the alphabet, today we're going to count. But both of these books have the same concept. They're focusing on things that are pretty specific or special about Michigan. So let's get started. 1. Kirtland's Warbler. He's a sunny fellow, singing such a pretty song with a chest so yellow. 2 lovely butterflies. Their name is Carner Blue. Pretty color on their wings. I see them fly, do you? 3 roadside picnic tables all set up for lunch. Apples, carrots, peanuts. Make a picnic fun to munch. You can count. Now look, there's more. Just turn the page for number 4. 4 Sioux locks, going up and going down, helping boats along the river, in and out of town. 5 howling gray wolves running in a pack. The leader is in front and a small one is in the back. 'Here are 6 dwarf lake iris flowers. We like them very much. When you see them in the sand, look, but please don't touch. 7 greater sandhill cranes playing hide and seek. Do you see them in the grass? Hurry, take a peek. You can count, and let's not wait to turn the page for number 8. 8 pretty Christmas trees ready to be found. Bring them home and dress them up with garland all around. 9 shiny brook trout jumping with a swish. Have you ever wished for a polka-dotted fish? 10 red-capped voyagers sing a favorite song. As they paddle through the water, they are swift and strong. 11 tasty navy beans sitting on a plate. Would you like to taste them? They're great. They taste great. 12 jugs of maple syrup. It's so thick and sweet. Pour it on your pancakes for a yummy breakfast treat. You can count so well, and we are glad. Now let's try to count and to add. These next few pages do some pretty simple math problems, but it also focuses on the things that we just talked about in those last few pages. So rather than doing the addition with you, which teachers, I'll let you take over from here if you want to, but just going to focus on, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the things that were in this counting book. So on this first page, remember it talked about the Carner's Blue, the butterfly, also the Kirtland Warbler, which is that little bird there with a yellow belly. The Kirtland Warbler is one of Michigan's greatest animal success stories that was just about extinct. And then some people up in northern Michigan, just about an hour north of us, started some efforts to try to improve their habitat and to help their population be restored. And now there's a very strong population of Kirtland warblers. They're still protected because they have just a very small area in Michigan where they live, a couple areas in Ontario, Canada where they live, and then they migrate down to the Bahamas in the wintertime. So we still have to take care of them, but again, they were very, very close to extinction, and humans intervened and figured out what they needed to do to help their habitat, and that bird has been restored to some degree. This next page, piping plovers, those little shoreline birds down there in the bottom. Again, those are a bird that's population is in decline right now due to predation by other birds and by animals. And by habitat loss. So a lot of our teachers and our students right now are working on projects to help the environment. And I know that there's some classes around the state that are working specifically on these birds and to help the habitat for these piping plovers. Last year there was, I believe, 2 nesting pairs of these birds at Tawas Point State Park. So there are a few of these birds around, but seeing them is very rare. seeing the big birds up at top, the sandhill cranes, seeing those is not rare. When I was a kid, which was a little while ago, but not that long ago, we hardly ever saw sandhill cranes, and now those things are everywhere. There's probably more cranes around than there are geese anymore, it seems like. There's our Petoskey stones and our painted turtles. I talked about that yesterday in our letter P. That was our letter P page. Petoskey stone is our state stone, and the painted turtle is our state reptile. And I believe this is our last page. We've got moose. Many of us have never seen a moose in Michigan, but there is a population of moose in the Upper Peninsula, especially the eastern end of the Upper Peninsula. And then the lady slippers are, again, that's a flower that grows in wetland areas, and it's a protected flower as well because the populations are diminishing. Kind of like the plovers, you'll notice that there's a common theme here. If it relies on water in wetland areas or shore areas, it seems like its population's in danger because those are areas where the habitat is diminishing. Oh, we do have another one here. Wolves. Everybody has their opinion about wolves. Some people love them, some people don't. And then over here on the right, one of my favorite thing about this time of year, maple syrup. When I go home at night, a lot of these nights, I've been boiling maple sap to make syrup. So that's been my project at home a lot of these nights. So hope you enjoyed our book. That is our last book in the first round. So today you're going to be voting on the Michigan Counting book, this one that we just read, versus yesterday's book, M is for Mitten. Which one you liked more? That will get us down to our final four in the competition. And from there, we'll be pitting those four books against each other. And on our last day of school, before you head off for spring break and enjoy the start of spring here in Michigan and a break from school for a week, we're going to announce what you guys have decided is the Great Lakes greatest book. So thanks for playing along with me. Have fun on the vote. Remember today's counting book versus alphabet book.